You know, aside from manhandling a race car on the weekends, Nick Mancuso is what they call a herpetologist, and that is basically a lover of reptiles and snakes and all sorts of types of fish and aquatic life, and he's joining us here. Nick, how did you ever get involved in wrestling around reptiles and doing all of the wildlife work that you do?
It actually started when I was really young, and as a kid I would just catch garter snakes and bring them back home, and my parents were unfortunate enough, maybe for me and not them, to let me keep them, and it just sort of grew into a hobby where I kept. At one point I had upwards of 50 snakes in my house, and then I started kind of traveling and going on these expeditions to Australia, Costa Rica, and most recently Ecuador, and I catch them and photograph them and release them in the wild.
Now, of all the places that you've traveled to around the world and you've caught reptiles all over the place, what's been your most favorite animal to catch?
That's pretty tough to say because they're all so different and unique, but actually a few weeks ago, for my senior year of college spring break, all of my friends went to a party on the beaches of Mexico. I jumped on a plane, went down to Ecuador, and actually lived out in the rainforest for 15 days in the Amazon. And we were fortunate enough to come across a 20-foot-long green anaconda. And so me and my 3 friends, we wrestled it and got some cool photos with it, and I'd have to say that was the most awe-inspiring animal I've ever found.
Do you get as nervous hopping in a race car as you do, say, wrestling an anaconda?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get like the adrenaline and that feeling of risk and that sensation, but at the same time, you know, it's the more you know about racing, the less scary or intimidating it is, the safer you feel, and it's the same with the animals. You know, I've been working with them all my life. I know what they're going to do. I know how they act when they're upset. Same with the race car. When a race car's not happy, you know, you could get in trouble. When an animal's not happy, you could get in trouble.
Off-track activities for Nick Mancuso. It kind of makes wrestling this MX-5 Cup machine around pretty tame by comparison.
Boy, it certainly does, and I think I'd rather get to know a car than a snake, because I see one out in the yard and I'm on my way the other way.
Me too. Meantime, let's move ahead. Nick Mancuso back in 14th after his off earlier. This is Zach Bly's machine. He's up toward the front, running third right now behind Mark Miller and Todd Lamb. Meantime, on the front side, Jeff Mosing's on pit road. Here's Derek.
Guys, it's a right front flat for the number 31 of Jeff Mosing in the race now for Autism MX-5. The crew is going over the wall right now. They're going to replace the right front tire. You can see both right side tires are white-walled. There's some damage on the right-hand side of the car. A real tough break for Jeff Mosing. He's got 5 top 10s this year, and he runs in the top 10 in points.
And we know why that 31 is flattened on the right side, don't we, Elliot?
I think we do. I think that when you rub it against a bridge abutment, that can happen.
Jeff Mosing's day ends prematurely here at Road America. Running order top of your screen. Keep an eye on your favorite drivers here. Round 7 of the 2009 Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup. Leaders under the Johnsonville Bridge, into the horseshoe, into the carousel. We're on board here with Mark Miller's Mazda Owners Club machine. Second, the race leader, Todd Lamb. And I don't know, Elliot, this is starting to look as though Todd Lamb has got this thing solved yet one more time.
Well, you know, you can say that, but he had a little bigger lead than this, and Mark Miller's been able to eat back into it. And as we watch him coming into this corner here, now see, we didn't hear the lift we heard with the other cars, so he's really trying to get on this, and we'd heard from Lambs earlier, it's about flat for the guys who are going good, and you can see he's getting a run coming up at the corner here. Won't be able to do anything with it, but he's right on him coming into this corner, and they want this shot coming on the front straight.
Quick little right-hander back on the gas. Lamb up front on the blue and silver lunacy machine, the 84. This is the battle for third and fourth. Meantime, riding with Zach Ply here. He's drawing a bead on Stan Wilson's car, the silver 92.
Yeah, you know, it's so much fun when you get to race like this where you're right on the back of somebody. But the hard part is you cannot watch the car in front of you, because if you watch that car in front of you, any mistake he makes, you're going to make too. You've got to be watching ahead of him and through him as you're following him.
Up the hill, under the bridge, heading towards start-finish to put another lap on the board here at Road America in Elkhard Lake, Wisconsin.
And he's got a little bit of a run here, and going to try and make it. Wilson is in the middle of the course, going to the right just a little bit. He got a run, but he didn't pull out. Now it's going to be very hard to pull out and do anything. They're lined up to try and get a run at the front 2 guys there.
Downshifting into 1, back on the gas before you even get to the apex of the corner.
That's what you do to carry that speed off the corner, is get on the gas as early as you can. But these guys right now are trying to line up because they lost the leaders a bit, and they're trying to get back there again. On
board with Tim Probert, the chase cam telemetry, one of the Alara entries. Probert back a little deeper in the field here, working on lap number 8. Got the Kohler camera there.
And trying to get back on the gas, get that run up to get the cars in front. And everything's so important at a track like this to get the run. As you can see, got a little bit of a run on Todd, but Todd's really late on the brakes too. Mark's going for it. Mark going for it. He's deep into the corner. Made it.
Now, is that a case where Lamb let him go through?
Yeah, he does. But, you know, you see a guy coming up like that, and you just want him to go through. Now, you'll get another opportunity to pass him, but if you try and do anything else, you guys will get into a little bit of rubbing and stuff, and they don't want to do that. So it's using your head. That was really smart of Todd to go ahead and do that.
As we've documented several times this season, these are the two championship leaders. Miller and Lamb have raced against each other going back to the go-kart days. Here's Lamb around the outside trying to take the lead back. Miller able to hold him off as they head to the Johnsonville Bridge.
And Mark was getting a little defensive line there, trying to hold on to the lead he had just gotten. But it looks like Todd is a little bit faster under brakes yet. It looks like Mark's a little wider than I like to run that corner, but I guess it's working for him.
Heading off the carousel there.
Right, carrying speed off of there, coming down to the kink, which is just great corner, very, very fast. And see, not much of a lift at all, and got a good run coming off of there. And then he'll get a little bit of a draft coming down here and may have a shot at Canada corner if Mark Miller doesn't take a defensive line. Yeah, but he's not going to, he's trying the outside again. He just doesn't want Mark to get that good line getting out of here. He's just going to make it tough for him.
Two leaders battling, the 28 car out in front. Mark Miller, that's the Mazda Owners Club machine. You're riding with Todd Lamb in the Lunacy car, the 84, heading to the final corner here at Road America.
Yeah, if he gets to the outside, makes Mark do something here so he can get the run of Mark, get back just a little bit, get on the gas, try and get on a little earlier than Mark. He did. Now he's tucked up under him, and now he's just got to see if he can get that run. But right now, even if they're just tucked up like this, they can get a better run than the guys behind them.
Miller swings it to the inside. Is he trying to break the draft there for Lamb?
Well, he's just trying to get it so Lamb won't go down the inside, but they've got Ply coming up now to get the run.
Lamb swings out to go around Miller for the lead.
Went around the outside, but here's Mark back up on the inside again on their brakes.
Oh, Stan Wilson on the outside there, 2 by 2, and Wilson elbows his way into third.
Yeah, we got teammates here, I think, working together.
On board here with Zach Ply. Top 4 cars. Mark Miller is out in front right now. Lap starting to wind down at Road America. Back with more of the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup.